Number 18, if you read through what they give you, they say that there's two buildings. We have building A, which is 90 feet, and building B, which we don't have how high it is, but it tells us that it's taller than building A. So the first thing I'm going to draw is a picture here, starting with the horizontal ground. So here's building A, and that was 90 feet. And then building B is taller, so I'm going to draw building B here. And we don't know its height. But it says the angle of elevation from building A to building B is 34 degrees, and the angle of depression is 25 degrees. So to draw an angle of elevation, you start at building A, and you always need your horizontal reference line. So the angle of elevation is 34 degrees. So the next ray of your angle goes straight to building B, and that was 34 degrees. And then it says the angle of depression from building A to building B. So for depression, we have still our horizontal reference line, and the ray would go down all the way to the bottom of building B, and that angle of depression was 25 degrees. So our goal for part A is to find out how far apart the buildings are. If you look at our picture right now with our two angles that were created, we have two right triangles. We have this top one and this bottom one. And first our goal is to figure out the horizontal distance between A and B, so I'm going to name that X. And if you look at our picture, I can also use this right triangle down here, which has a side length of 90 feet from here to here is 90 feet. And I know that this angle here is 25 degrees because these two angles, this one here and this one here, are alternate interior angles made by the parallel lines, the horizontal reference line and the floor, the bottom. So we can pull out a picture here. I'm going to draw a smaller picture here of that right triangle. 90 feet was building A, 25 degrees is our reference angle, and we're trying to find the horizontal distance. So which trig ratio are we using here? Well, in relation to the reference angle, 90 would be the opposite, and x would be the adjacent side. So O and A use this tangent, so we're going to be taking the tangent of our reference angle, 25 degrees, and that's equal to the ratio opposite, which is 90, and adjacent, which is x. Put a 1 under, cross multiply. So when I cross multiply, I would have 1 times 90, which is 90. Bring down your equal sign, and 25, tangent of 25 times x is just x tangent of 25. We still need to isolate the x by dividing both sides by tangent 25. So into our calculator, I need to type in 90, which I'm going to do right now. 90 divided by, for my calculator, I hit 25 and then tangent. Don't forget to press equals. Round to the nearest tenth. So x is approximately 193.0 feet, or just 193 feet. So that's part A, 193 feet. I'm also going to label that in our picture now. X is 193 feet. So that will actually help us find how tall building B is. Right now I at least know a part of building B from here to here is 90 feet. And I need to find this other part. We'll just call that Y. And if I add Y's value and 90, that would give me how high the building would be. So I'm actually going to erase some stuff here. I'm going to erase this. That's not good. It's erasing back to the old thing. Okay, I'm just going to draw the triangle on the bottom here. So, in order to find how tall building B is, if I look at this right triangle here, I have a reference angle and I have one of the legs of the right triangle, the horizontal leg. It's 193 feet. So I can actually pull out that triangle, which I'm going to draw down here. And let's see, our reference angle is 34. We need to find Y, and I know the horizontal distance here is 193. So, which ratio are we using here? In terms of our reference angle, Y would be the opposite, 193 would be the adjacent. So, over here, I'm going to try to fit the work. I'd be taking a tangent of 34 degrees, our reference angle. That's equal to the opposite, Y, over adjacent, 193. Put a 1 under, cross multiply. So Y is equal to 193 times tangent of 34. So, into my calculator, I'm going to type in 34, then hit tangent, and then times 193, and round it to the nearest tenth. That was 130.2. So, in order to find the entire distance from top to bottom for building B, I would have to take that answer and add the 90 feet to it. So if I take 130.2 and add 90 to it, that would give me approximately 220.2 feet. So part B was approximately 220.2 feet.